focus, discipline, courage. They've prepared Miyagi to face anything, but nothing can prepare him for...
Time to light it up.
Okay, we're back once more with Franchise Friday and our final...
Well, it's not the final, Vince. It's the second to the final.
This little remake that happened afterwards, after this thing, but that we reviewed quite some time ago. The next movie in the Karate Kid series is...
The next Karate Kid.
This is part 4 in the original saga of Karate Kid before the remake happened. And before Cobra Kai, obviously. So, here it is, the next chapter in the Karate Kid saga. And I have to say, boy, this is going to be fun.
Again, I didn't get to see this in the show, or didn't probably want to see it in the show. But when it eventually did come out, I guess on VHS, I rented it. And it interested me. This one actually interested me, I guess, more than the third one, being that I never saw the third one. Was that, okay, they got rid of Daniel, and now they got a woman in his place. And now you're going to get a perspective from the woman. And, of course, this was Hilary Swank, and this was her first movie. And you might know her from Billion Dollar Baby. I think she won an Oscar for that, or was nominated.
I believe so, yeah.
So, okay, and I hadn't seen this movie in a long time. I probably only ever seen it once when it first came out, and that was it. So, this was kind of again, watching it for the first time, I didn't remember any of this film. Any of it. Nothing whatsoever. But, I'm going to tell you, Vince, that I actually liked this film. It surprised me. I didn't think I would. I didn't think I would like it. Because, again, you know, it's not the same story, it's a different character. Mr. Miyagi is the only continuing character here. But I enjoyed it. I actually really enjoyed this film.
I am really mixed about this movie. Because there are some things that I do like about the film, but then there's lots of things that I didn't like about the film. And it's just kind of a mixed bag of things. And... I didn't get to, like you, I didn't get to see this movie until it came out to VHS as well. And I did, like you, I was also interested in it because of having the female lead, of having Hilary Swank be the next Karate Kid. And I think a lot of that, too, was because, obviously, Ralph Macchio at that point, had gotten so much older, it's like... You can't keep going on believing that that's the Karate Kid, you know? So they wanted to bring in a younger person, and I did like the way it started out, and the story that it started out with, that Miyagi is going to visit a friend from his army troop, and he had this daughter that's lost her way, and he's there to put her back on track, you know, or he... offers to do that for them. And I liked that part of it. I mean, I think if they went along with just that story, it probably would have been a lot better movie. But then they add this stupid alpha troop into it, and it's dumb. That part of it is just, all of that part of it is just dumb. The dialogue is dumb. The acting is dumb. It's just, that whole thing of it is dumb.
Okay, so I 100% agree with that. I didn't even understand what it was. It was like...
Exactly.
Watching it, I'm like, is this a military group? Is it Al-Qaeda? Is it, you know, what is it? So, you know, I didn't know what it was. It was like, are they training terrorists here? Or, I don't know. It's like, what? I still didn't know after watching it. And it was stupid. But that didn't really bother me so much. I mean, they had to have a bad people, but they could have done it in a better way. But the overall story, I liked, and that part was stupid. It was dumb. I don't know. I have no idea. Even watching it, I have no idea what it was.
Yeah, I never understood it either. I never, it doesn't make any sense. Is this supposed to be the RO? Because I guess they're in high school, right?
I don't know. I guess.
It's not college, I know that, and they're in this school, but they're like the police of the school. Is it supposed to be an ROTC group?
Yeah, they never said. That's a problem, is they never said, and they're all lined up out front, and it's like a military group. Like I said, it looks like they're trying to train people to become terrorists or something.
In the past, we've had external enemies. Now the enemy is in our country. Inside our cities, in our schools. Some kid drops a candy wrapper, you make him pick it up and eat it. Do you understand me?
Yes, sir. And the one guy didn't want to do it, and he got out of the group, and he's like, "Oh, we're coming after you,
I'll fight for my family, I'll fight for myself, but I'm not going to step in there just so you can show me how tough you are."
Maybe you should fight out of anger, then.
You're not in our group anymore, whatever our group is, and you're evil now, and you're not going to follow. And it's just like, what are these people? I have no idea.
At one point, the main bad guy in the troop, not the teacher, but the other guy, I forget what his name is in the movie. The guy with the big nose.
Ned here could have beat McGowen, with his arms behind his back.
At one point, he's talking to Hilary Swank's character in this, Julie. He's talking to Julie, and he says, he's talking like he's supposed to be her boyfriend, like he's been going out with her or dating her, but she's talking like they've never been out, they've never gone anywhere, they've never done it, they've had no connection other than he's been a big bully to her the whole time. And it's like, why? There's no development there whatsoever as to even why this guy is bullying her. And then at one point he's like, well, she's gonna be mine. Oh yeah, she's mine. Don't you mess with her. It just didn't make any. He came off more like a pervert or a stalker than he did, this big bad bully. It was just weird. It was just odd, and it didn't make any damn sense.
The one thing I actually did like here was the one that becomes her boyfriend. He was a good actor. And again, once he got away from the terrorist group, he became a cool character. He wanted to become, he was like a cop, or he was a security guard or whatever for a training yard. All of that I really liked. I liked all of that. And I liked the fact that Mr. Miyagi was trying to train a girl here, and it's totally different than Daniel. And there's a lot of funny moments with all that too. He's great in this movie. I think he's fantastic in this movie.
So, how was school today?
What's wrong with you? Are you crazy? You're supposed to knock before you come into a girl's room.
Yeah, he's one of the best parts, is Mr. Miyagi.
I think Hilary Swank did a great job too. And the part where they actually go to the monks, I think that was the best part of the whole film. That whole thing was just great. I really loved, and that was a big part of the film too. That whole training thing, I loved it. And they got away from all the idiot stuff that's happening in the high school, and it comes back eventually, towards the end. But all that, I loved it. I thought it was really well told. I thought it was really well acted. I loved all the monks. I loved all the training there, and that whole thing I just thought was fantastic. I loved it.
I thought that they were supposed to be spiritual leaders.
Never trust spiritual leader who cannot dance.
Yeah, I enjoyed that too. I did. That, like I said, all of that I enjoyed them in the movie. It was the other half of it where you have all these, what is supposed to be the Cobra Kai of this film is just terrible. They're not impressive. They're not, I mean, yeah, they're being bullies, but then you have the bad teacher played by Michael Ironside, which his acting's not so bad. I mean, he's playing I've seen him in other things, in other movies and TV shows and stuff, and he's always been a pretty cool guy. I like him. I like him as an actor. And I think he didn't do a bad job, but he was just given a bad part. And a bad, him being this, he's being the leader of this troop that doesn't make even any sense that's there. It's just, that whole side of it is just terrible in this film. And some of the dialogue in this movie is just horrendous. I mean, there's really some bad dialogue in this film as well. Bad writing.
Well, I can say I can kind of forget about that stuff because I like the other stuff so much more than that horrible. Yeah, it was dumb. I'll admit that. It was stupid. It made no sense. They never explained what it was. They didn't explain what kind of school it was. They didn't explain why these guys were bullies. They didn't explain what the group was that they were. They didn't explain any of that. It was stupid. I agree with that. But then the story between Miyagi and the Hilary Swank character, I think, trumped all that. I think it was better than all that. I think they just pushed that to the side. And I literally, like I said, when she starts training with all the monks, I had forgotten about that horrible storyline until it came back to the end of the movie. And I liked how the movie ended. I liked how it ended up. I thought it ended up really well with how, the last part of the film ended. So, overall, I actually really liked the film. Even though it did have some stupid stuff in it, I really liked the rest of the film, if you take that part out.
And I would have to take that part out because it's terrible. And what was the whole thing with the freaking bungee cord thing? And the dance? What was that supposed to even be?
I forgot about that. Yeah, I don't know. That didn't make any damn sense either. They go to a prom, and here these guys are bungee cording and smashing their heads against the floor, and then he's like, "Oh, you almost broke your buddy's arm here."
Leave him alone, McGowen. This is real smart, Ned. I think you broke your buddy's arm here. At least he was brave enough to try it.
You terrible person.
I think they were trying to crash the party and come in on bungee cords. Oh, that was funny. That was funny.
It was stupid. It was stupid. But then it also ends up in this interesting street fight. I will give that. I mean, it kind of did a Rocky V there.
Give me your best shot.
They ended up in a street fight rather than the normal, get in the ring kind of thing like they were doing with not only Karate Kid but with Rocky, So they ended up in this street fight, and it was all right. I mean, I'll give them that. And then of course they end up acting just like the Cobra Kai. Like at the end of it, they're like, "No, I'm not going to fight her."
You're crazy, man.
Morgan, you fight her.
Colonel, it's over.
I said get up and finish the job!
No more.
What?
It's just, I wasn't crazy about it. I wasn't as crazy about this movie as you were.
Well, I like the story, is what I said. I like the interaction between Mr. Miyagi and Hilary Swank. And I loved all that. I loved the monks. I loved that storyline. The other stuff, it's like half and half. The other stuff was terrible, and this stuff was good, but I think the good stuff outweighed the stupid stuff in this movie, except for maybe the bungee cord scene. Overall, I mean, the rating on this is kind of difficult. I'd kind of give it like a 3 out of 5. But it seems like it should be maybe a 3.5 out of 5. But I guess I'm just going to go with 3 out of 5. But it was good. I enjoyed it.
I would actually go with 2.5 out of 5. Because I enjoyed all the Miyagi stuff. I enjoyed all the Karate Kid part of the film. All of that was fine. Except some of the dialogue. Some of the dialogue was a little cheesy, but all of that was fine. I had no problem with that. It was the other stuff, the bullies and this weird troop and the bungee cording and the Then there's that thing with the whole thing with the hawk, which I didn't mind that either, because that was part of. I mean, Miyagi made a lesson out of it, so it's just I don't know. I wasn't crazy about this movie overall.
So we have one more Karate Kid to bring you, and like what Vince said, we actually did the review for it years ago when it first came out, and it has Jackie Chan in it and stupid Jaden Smith in it. So what we're going to do is we're going to review sort of that next time, but show you the original review as well, so we don't have to go through it all over again.
We're going to have highlights of the first review, as well as, I guess, an update.
Yeah, I guess. So you don't want to miss that, you know. You want to tune in for that one. So until then, if you haven't become one of our maniacs on here, make sure you hit that subscribe button, because we want all. I can't. My brain's melted. I can't even think anymore.
Okay, I'm going to say one last thing too. I think it would be interesting at some point with the Cobra Kai series, though, if they actually brought Julie into that. I think that would be cool if they actually end up doing that. That would be interesting. The next Karate Kid in to finally meet the Karate Kid, Daniel, you know.
That would be cool. It really would. That would be pretty freaking awesome.
I would like to see that happen. That would be interesting to me.
You know what I would like to see happen is for us to get some new subscribers on this channel. So if you want to become one of the maniacs, make sure you hit that subscribe button and the notification bell, so when we upload the next Karate Kid, or the next new night, will be the next new Karate Kid after the next.
The Kung Fu Kid.
The Kung Fu Kid. You don't want to miss it, because that's coming up next.
Enough! It's not over.
Then we finish.